All right, chat. We're back. Week four trade journal recap. We also got I was gonna say monthly recap, but I don't know how I would determine a month, especially because I started this off in the middle of a month. So I was just gonna do a recap every 4 weeks, just to look at it. The reason why I didn't choose fives because I wanted to do it this week. So yeah, we're gonna do one every 4 weeks. But let's get straight into it. This week, all I can say was a psychological realization to how much more practice I need to take, how many more steps I need to take. Because, yeah, we're starting to understand our system, we're starting to understand our model, strategy, we're sticking to it. But the psychological aspect as well is where I see I failed so far. So let's get straight into it. Week four recap. Daily bias on Monday was on NAS. We created a bullish SMT with ES at London lows, but we're at all time highs. So I wanted to see the market trade lower. And today the market just shot up on open, so there weren't any opportunities. So I didn't take a trade this day. Six was confidence level because being outside of the comfort of my home, I realized I had a lot of FOMO. I wasn't able to trade because of the bad Wi-Fi because I would have taken an L if it wasn't for that. What was your risk? None. Did you follow your trading plan? Yes, because I technically preserved capital, but I still realized the emotions that I were going through. How did I feel during the trading? I experienced a lot of FOMO. I think since I was at the dentist, I'm actually up on the account. I was afraid of missing a potential winning day. I need to detach myself from the attachment of money because I'm still seeking that payout. Win or lose, winning day we preserved capital and we didn't trade because we couldn't when not seeing a trade. We won this one by a hair. What can you take from this trade? When I'm setting, when I'm okay, this is supposed to say when I'm sitting where I'm not familiar with trading, either don't take a trade or stop, analyze why am I taking this trade? Because I noticed like I would just want to enter the market whenever I seen anything. Tuesday, daily buys. We have a large new day opening gap. We are bearish. I believe we want to fill this gap on ES and NAS. We are also near all-time highs with little to no buy side liquidity. Here are the two pictures. What confluences did I trade off of? We tapped a new day opening gap, and then I traded off a 2-minute PDI inversion towards 5-minute unfilled gap. Confidence level today was a 10. I noticed that I'm calmer in the markets on open, and I can stop myself from entering on FOMO. I've noticed observer of the market. This is really good because it takes you from a position of wanting to trade to a position of okay, I'll take one if I see one. During the trade, confidence level was a 10. I entered a model I was comfortable with. The model came and I entered. I had a lot of confidence in my strategy. I know that trading is a game of probability and eventually I'll lose some, but my wins will outweigh the losses. After the trade was a 10, I entered the A plus setup, didn't get too greedy, and I followed all of my rules. And like I said, didn't get too greedy. What was your risk? 1%. Did you follow your trading plan? Yes, I followed my plan. I stuck to my risk management. I waited for my model to present itself and I traded an A minus and above setup. How do we feel for this trading day? I think it's because the trade went by so fast, but obviously I was nervous. Now it's the fear of being set back. I'm noticing I am very much more confident in my strat. I don't hesitate and I follow my trading plan. So losing days feel like wins. Did your strategy play out? Yes, I targeted a 5-minute unfilled and a rejection after the new day opening liquidity void. I entered on a 2-minute PDI pick inversion. So here it is. We kept tapping this new day opening gap, and obviously this saw the accumulation. We tapped back into this gap, claimed all the sell side liquidity, inversed on a 2-minute. This is obviously a 1-minute pick, but we inversed on a 2-minute right here, and then I took the trade for 1-to-1. Winning day, I followed all of my rules, didn't trade off fear or greed, as well as I entered on an A plus setup. What can we take from this trade? I'm starting to build that market experience over time. I'm not the best, and I know probability will catch up to me. But if I stick to my rules and trade according to my strategy, the wins will outweigh the losses. This was like the last day of the week where I actually was like in a good state of mind. Now, I can't necessarily say that it was because of outside events that the state of mind was fluctuating, but like I said previously, it's not losing trades anymore. It's more that I have the fear of being set back right here. I am finally seeing progress in passing in eval. Passing in eval, like I've passed one before, don't get me wrong, but it was off of gold trades. Now the plan is to pass one off of my setup, my model, and then actually sticking to my rules and becoming a profitable trader. And now I'm like, I'm right there. I feel it's like I want to take trades out of my psychology is at a point to where it's like I'm seeing that I want this really bad. I'm seeing that like it's possible now. So my body is like telling me, take this trade, take this trade, take this trade. You're almost there. Sorry. And it's messing up me following my rules. So Wednesday, I didn't really know where the market was going, but I was determining my bias throughout the day. As you can see, I clearly didn't have a bias for the day. So obviously, why am I trading that day? I seen the S create an SMT with NAS because it took London and Asian session as NASDAQ did it. So my bias became bearish. Then NAS took London lows before ES switching my bias to bullish. See? Now, what confluences did I trade off of? After NAS claimed London lows before ES, creating a high time frame SMT, I seen a 5-minute unfilled fair value gap, and I saw a 2-minute PDI towards the 5-minute fair value gap. Confidence level 7. Didn't really know my bias until I saw the market move and made a bias. Saw a 2-minute PDI, so I entered. Confidence level 8. I had executed. I saw the candles moving down, so I was a little nervous. I entered where I could and had great risk management. Confidence level 8. I stuck to my rules, but the PDI fell. I know it's just a game of probability. I will outweigh the losses. What was my risk? 0.7%. Did you follow your trading plan? Yes, I've traded my model using my strat, stuck to my risk management as well. Traded a minus setup. I don't know what classifies something as a certain criteria yet. How did you feel during the trade? Honestly, the market was choppy today. Maybe on days like this, I shouldn't trade because I don't necessarily see a lot of volume in the market. Did your strategy play out? No, the PDI inversion stopped me out. Maybe it was just a bad setup or a probability. I noticed focus on the recap after rewatching the PDI vid. So what I noticed is there was a lack of volume in the market at this time. For example, we claimed all this accumulation, but we didn't claim these lows yet. So me entering on a 2-minute inversion here just because there was a fair value gap shows my inexperience in the model as well. Because obviously this was a trade out FOMO. I seen this inversion, was like, okay, I can catch it. Obviously I stuck to my rules, but this is me noticing that I don't yet know what an A plus setup is, and I'm not actually paying attention to what's going on now that I'm in that state of mind to where I want to keep winning. Winner or losing day, winning day, I stuck to my rules, my risk management and strategy, and what can I take from this trade? I need to further research into what classifies something as a good setup. B plus through A minus, because currently I know how the model looks and where to execute, but I fail to determine if the model is in peak performance or a bad one. Now this is where it was like, fuck, I realized like how little my psychology is in checked in certain aspects. So Thursday 9-18 daily bias was bullish mainly. I want to see ES claim London and Asian lows and create a high time frame bullish SMT towards data highs. Then NAS being the lagging indicator, I would trade towards data highs or we claim data highs in the morning and aim for session lows later on. Just two pictures here. What confluences did you trade off of? The 2-minute inversion towards a 5-minute fair value gap? Confidence level was a 6. Didn't really feel confident in the trade since we finished out my bias for the day. There is something I realized heavily, and I want you guys to focus on too if you're making the same mistakes. If your trade for the day plays out but you don't see an entry, why are you still on the charts? I struggle with this too. This is not me telling you, oh, I know, don't do this. But obviously, if your bias was filled for the day, you don't know where market wants to go next, so why are you taking another trade? And this is mainly speaking to me. So during the trade, confidence level was a 4. I realized I traded on FOMO since I saw a lot of volume in the market and thought I missed out on a trade. 3. Confidence level. Stuck to my risk management, but I'm mad at myself because I could have stuck to my rules and left for the day since both my draws were hit. What was your risk? 0.8%. Did you follow your trading plan? No. I fell victim to FOMO. Since I'm trying so hard to pass this eval, I'm irritated mostly at myself for not following my rules. This setup was nowhere near an A minus. I fell victim to my own emotions because I didn't see a proper PDI and saw a mech inversion. However, I'm only supposed to stick to my model because until I become proficient at it. How do you feel during the trade? I knew my stop was going to get hit because we were at all-time highs and there was no obvious draw on liquidity towards the downside. Did your strategy play out? No, I didn't follow it. As we can see here, we took all-time highs. Why am I trading in a scenario where we took all-time highs? I'm just mapping out things, hoping it goes through. This is obviously no PDI here. All we did was inverse. No PDI, no accumulation, no nothing. Here is it on 2 minute. Win or lose, lose. Not only did I not preserve capital, but I took a shit trade. Honestly, more than ever, I am disappointed in myself for letting FOMO get the best of me. What can we take from this trade? When both your draws of liquidity are hit, close the charts and do not look back. Bro, make a decision and stick to it. Do not look back at the charts, bro. If you know this shit is like, if you know your bias is already played out, don't look back, bro. Your day was already scoped. Everything you knew was gonna happen happened. So why are you going into the unknown? Friday, the 19th. Our bias is still very bullish. Since we're playing around all-time highs and respecting high time frame PD arrays, I want to see either NAS or ES claim London lows, then aim for all-time highs, or we could hit all-time highs and continue up and not trade for the day. What confluence did you trade off of? We respected a 5 minute gap, created a 1 minute PDI towards a 1 hour gap. I took 2 trades here, as you can see. Confidence level 8 was ready for the market to open with a strong bias in play. During the trade was a 7. Took a bad PDI, shorts in a bullish market flow, and was looking to trade, not observing the market. Confidence level 5 after the trade. Took another loss on my rules because this was honestly just a bad setup overall. Need to take the market more seriously. This was the first one here. Obviously, accumulation, manipulation leg up, but we're playing around in a 1 hour fair value gap. Why am I trading when we're playing around in a bullish PD array? And I've already said my bias for the day was bullish. Obviously. Now here's the start of a beautiful mech model, but I wasn't looking for that. So inversed right here. This was along with a time frame bias. So we're right around hourly close. Of course, the market isn't going to want to trade downwards and disrespect that PD array, especially if we're bullish towards all-time highs. So, yep, that was the first trade. Second trade, confidence level 8. Saw a PI inversion on a 1 minute with high volatility towards new all-time highs. I wanted to take another trade to potentially recover my account. This is never a mindset you want to be in when trading. You never want to, oh, I gotta recover, I gotta get back. This is obviously over trading, over leveraging. This is me entering in a setup just because I want to get back on where I lost instead of looking for a setup that was A plus. During the trade, 8. Trade wasn't the best setup. Honestly, I think I took the trade because I was looking at a third loss I took on this week. I took 3 losses this week, and it was like, holy shit, I'm going back into drawdown, going back into a position I don't want to be on this eval. And then after trade, confidence level was a 5. Broke my rules again. About to blow another eval, and honestly don't know why I keep doing this dumb stuff. What was your risk? 1.5% on the day. Did you follow your trading plan? No. Took 2 terrible trades and one was out of emotions. How do you feel about your habits today? Honestly, terrible. I'm about to blow another eval. I can't seem to get my emotions in check. And the worst part is I know exactly why I feel this way. It's because I'm not following my rules. What the freak? It's because I'm not following my rules. I'm tired of blowing evals the dumb decisions, and I'm contemplating quitting. Yeah, I just want to show y'all like there's not always like there's ups and downs, bro. To reach new highs, you gotta reach higher lows. And like it's not to say that like I wanna quit because I fucking suck. It's because like I'll reach a point where I break something that I found is challenging beforehand. Then I'll find another wall that's just like, nope, you're not ready. Nope, you need to get better. Nope, you need to lock in. And it's like, how many walls am I going to have to hit before I actually get that breakthrough? Before I break out and actually start doing what needs to be done. Did your strategy play out? Yeah, a market inversion played out. I just didn't follow my rules. So this was the second trade. Accumulation zone, manipulated downwards, claimed this fair value gap right here. I was looking to trade higher. Thing was, we're at all-time highs, bro. Both my biases was took out for the day, or my bias was took out for the day. Why am I still in the charts? Failed 2 times in a row on the same dumb decision. Winner, loss, lose. Took 2 losing trades today. I failed to stick to my rules once again. I know that's all my fault that I'm about to blow my sixth eval. And I know what I have to do. But for some reason, I keep falling into the same mistakes. This has got to change. What can you take from this trade? When you don't follow your rules, trades become shit. Your mentality becomes shit. And overall, you are shitty. You know what needs to be done, but you consistently fail to follow through. Week 4, what was a common issue? My psychology. Obviously, obviously, my check on emotions when it came to trading this week was way off the rails. Maybe that could have been like events that happened in life, but I don't even necessarily know what events could have caused that. Me personally, I detach my things from things in real life, so I wondered why is it so hard to detach myself from money in the market? The reality on how I am so focused on passing a eval was why this week failed. I got so caught up in, oh, I'm finally winning. I know what I'm doing. To the point to where I've started to do things wrong. Started to fall into old traps, old habits. And I know now that I just need to stick through with what I originally set out to do, and that was following my rules. So to control this week, too caught up in passing first real evaluation and becoming profitable. How can we fix this? Obviously, mental clarity. And what I mean by this is not necessarily like, not necessarily like, oh, it's just gonna be instantly, oh, I just changed my mindset. No, it's more of knowing knowing what I need to do is to follow my rules. Falling in love with the process because it's not the idea of making the money that makes the trading journey so fulfilling. It's the idea of freedom. And how do I reach that freedom? By creating the habits that I need to be a profitable trader. By following my rules, by sticking to what I have set out to be, because that's eventually what turns you into that profitable trader. It's not about, oh my God, I made this much this week. oh my God, I finally got my first payout. No, because that money will come and go. What I'm starting to notice in life is when you win the lottery, oh my God, your life changes in the moment. But why do you think people become broke so fast? It's because it's not about that one big win, it's about consistent wins. You can get one big payout, and then all of a sudden, if you never get a payout again, what does that really even mean? It's about getting consistent wins, being able to consistently build an income, being able to consistently follow my rules, not following my rules for a week and passing an eval and then failing it. If I can consistently follow my rules, I become a profitable trader. The goal isn't to be a profitable trader. The goal is to follow my rules. Hold on, said that wrong. The goal isn't to make money. The goal is to be a profitable trader. And I've been listening to a book recently called Atomic Habits, and they mentioned one thing that hit so deep, and it was the man who's focused on winning the race will stop after winning the race. But the man who just loves to run will continue to run after the race is done. I want you guys to let that sit because it shows the processed mindset, rewarding yourself based off of progression is what takes you further than looking for the goal. Because once you hit that goal, you have nowhere else to go. But if you want to be a runner, you will continue to run because the goal is the process. The goal isn't the reward. All right, I'm back, chat. My bad. Yeah, becoming a trader, not a gambler. All right. What worked well throughout the week? So obviously the one day that worked well, and it's not one that worked well throughout the week was sticking to my rules, bro. When I stuck to my rules, this is a common like denominator. Like this always prevails. When you stick to your rules, like there's no other like there was no way that you can be mad even at yourself for losing the trade because you did everything you possibly could at that moment. All right. Why do I think these things work? Because I wasn't focused on the outcome, the profit, my emotions. It was more of, all right, what systems work for me and how can I continue to make them work? So it was like just the emotional detachment and actually wanting to follow the process, looking for the process based rewards instead of outcome based. I forget what I said. Holy Snapchat. Mine is off. All right. How often did you stick to your rules? 1 out of 5 fucking days, chat. 1 out of 5 days. This is a terrible, terrible week. We failed to focus on what really mattered. And I guess when you see some sort of first wins, the market will humble you. What was a common emotion I felt? FOMO? FOMO. I could easily say that because I was afraid of missing out on a trade. I was afraid of missing out on passing an eval. I was afraid of just like not winning. I was afraid of getting drawn back. So it was just FOMO. I was afraid of missing a winning day. I was afraid of missing passing an eval. And I was just afraid of falling back into draw. Did you feel confident in my strategy? This is one thing that prevailed. Yes, the strategy when I followed my rules, I was confident. But when it came to me actually, when it came to me performing the strategy when I wasn't following my rules, when it came to me performing the strategy when I wasn't following my rules, I lacked confidence in it. And this is because obviously I'm just taking a trade without no rules. I'm just putting in a play with no story behind it. What can I improve on this current week? This coming week is focusing on my rules instead of wins. Next week, I want a perfect week. I want a perfect week of just sticking to rules no matter the wins. Next week, I will get a perfect week of following my rules, not caring for the wins. There we go. All right. Monthly recap. So we already have some stuff in here. I didn't write anything down, but I wanted to take for this monthly recap alone is like look at every week recap and then see where I improved, what can I continue to improve, as well as what trades. Like looking over my trades as well. I noticed like in the weekly recaps, I failed to look over the chart analysis. So I want to see like okay, what setups worked, what setups didn't work, why didn't it work, and just understanding like deeper on where the market, like where I'm going and my trajectory on the market, my trajectory in the market. So let me pause for a second. Let me take a break. I need a sip of water, and we're gonna get straight into that. All right, yeah, we took out the blackout curtain. So we're back. Yeah, we got the recap. We had a lot of reading. Yeah, this is the month recap. We got every week here. Then with the help of AI, as you can clearly see, we asked it. Well, we went past what we did beforehand and stuff, but we asked it what can we do for the month recap, and it gave us to spit out a little bit of stuff, with a game, and this is what's gonna help us also like flip and create better journaling for ourselves. So we got trading performance, mindset and emotions, and journaling quality. So we're gonna get into that after we read these weekly recaps. So let's get to it. Week one recap. What was a common issue? The common issue in my trading was a lack of confidence in my trades, as well as searching for bigger moves on obvious price action. I notice this even when it comes to back testing off time. Oftentimes, I try to catch the big downtrend after a liquidity claim. Usually, this happens after my session, so I can't trade it or causing me to miss out on a great trade. How can we fix this? Fixing my greed problem. I'm starting to notice that when you scale, even a few $100 a trade is good. As well as my problem looking for sniper entries. I've noticed that it's not the big wins that makes you profitable, it's being able to catch guaranteed small ones. What worked throughout the week when trading, sticking to my rules and risking less. When I switch to micros and trade a more optimal amount, I don't feel as bad losing, as well as following my plans allows me to know it's not my psychology, it's my execution, my lack of chart experience. Why do you think these things work? It works because I risk less, which means the money that has less value and stops the issue of my psychology being a factor. As well as sticking to my rules, it means I did nothing wrong. Just a lack of experience. These two together give you a sense of security in trading since you know where you need to improve. How often did you stick to your rules? 3 out of 5 days of the week. It's a great thing because I choose not to trade on a day I obviously didn't see following my plan. Even when I lose on a trade that follows my plan, I know where to improve. I will focus on making this every day. What was a common emotion you felt? Fear and greed. I had a lack of confidence in my strategy as well as an overwhelming amount of greed in trying to catch sniper plays. Did you feel confident in your strategy? Yes and no. I think there's definitely more improvement that needs to happen. I definitely need to understand more of the model. I need more experience in the market. What can you do to improve for the coming week? I will continue to back test my goal. I'm gonna back test. My goal for this week is to follow my plan every day, understanding a deeper level of knowledge. My strategy overall, I need to improve a few aspects of my trading psychology and understand my strategy more deeply. How can you do this? Sit down, take notes on TGR strategy as well as finish PBs, ICT for dummies. Once I finish PBs, I watch TGR's video and try to only use 1 to 3 confluences from TGR's video and follow PB's strategy. Week 2 recap. What was a common issue? All right, so yeah, as we can see from week one, obviously this was just like the beginning. This is more of like closer to like starting. I think this was the start of month, uh, like right beginning of month 2, like maybe a week before month 2 of me actually like trading fully because I'm tapping 3 months at the end of this month on the 25th. It's the 21st, so 3 days and 4 days. And yeah, I just didn't know my strategy, didn't know my plan, a lot of psychology problems. But over time, we start to fix it. Week 2 recap. What was a common issue? Understand my execution. We would have a confident bias for the day and obvious draws on liquidity, but fail to understand how/where to execute. How can we fix this? By backtesting our model more, reaching 5 out of 5 days of following my rules, as well as deepening our knowledge of the PDI model and more market experience. What worked throughout the week when trading? Sticking to my plan/rules. When I stuck to my plan, I won the psychology part of trading and I'm building great day trading habits. Why do you think these things work? They work because building these great trading habits brings me closer to becoming a full-time day trader. How often did you stick to your rules? 4 out of 5 days of the week, I stuck to my plan, which from last week was an improvement, only sticking to them 3 out of 5 days of the week. What was a common emotion you felt? Confidence in my daily bias, as well as sticking to my rules. I felt more confident in my trades during the trade. I feel less confident in my execution because I've been on a 3 week losing streak. Boom. Did you feel confident in your strategy? I feel confident in my ICT abilities and when it came to determining draws on liquidity. But when it comes to my execution, I didn't really have a model to follow. So I didn't feel confident in my trades. What can you do to improve this for the coming week? Stick to my strategy and rules 5 out of 5 of the days. How can you do this? Backtesting, patience, and YouTube University. So as you can see, week 2, we were learning how to follow rules, sticking to rules, learning psychology, as well as we understood our bias, we understand our market analysis abilities, we just didn't understand our execution. And that's where week 3 came into play. What was a common issue? Lack of market experience and my emotions. I did this trade recap, obviously, so we know the reason why there's a lack of writing now is because now we have video proof. How can we fix this? When it comes to emotions, I don't think you can stop them, but I should continue to react better to them, which is a big problem I had this week. When it comes to market experience, this just comes with time. So we'll work throughout the week when trading, following my rules, my strategy, and my model, which is something I failed at this week. So we will improve this next week. I don't expect to instantly, just be great at it, but to continue to improve. What do you think? Why do you think these things work? Because I controlled everything that I could. So when I lost, I either knew why it happened or it was probability, something that's out of my control. How often did you stick to your rules? For 5 out of 5 days, we followed our rules, striving to hit 1 month. That was great. That was a great week. Like striving to hit 1 month. But of course, we reset it this week. So now we will continue. I don't think necessarily there's a goal in striving to hit 1 month because then I hit that 1 month and guess what? I stopped. So I think I want to switch the goal to just like being able to follow my rules. So yeah, what was a common emotion I felt? Greed, fear, and anxiety. This comes with the attachment to money. And I feel these emotions because I'm new and I lack market experience. But I know that if I follow my rules and my strategy and I stick to creating a great day trading habits, the money will come. Did you feel confident in your strategy? Yes, I did feel confident in my strategy. This is where I noticed like when you follow your rules, when you follow your trading plan, when you do what you need to do, you feel confidence in the market. What can you do to improve this coming week? Continue to follow my rules, go more in depth on my trades themselves. So start to realize like and as we get into this recap or um obviously we're gonna answer these questions, but if I can go more in depth, explain the story behind why I'm taking that trade. That would always be much better than just saying, okay, I did this because this. All right. How can you do this? By asking strategy questions as well as explaining the story behind why I took my trade, as I said here, which I failed to do this week, of course, because psychology was off, multiple factors this week. It was just a bad trading week, but this did overall make it a good month. Week 4 doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad month, it was just a bad week, but overall, the month was constant improvement. And of course, you get a setback, but what can you do? Make next month better. So, week 4, as we just did this, we obviously know this was a common issue. My psychology, obviously, my emotions took control of my actions this week. I got too caught up in passing my evaluation and becoming profitable. How can we fix this? Mental clarity, knowing what I need to follow, falling in love with the process, and becoming a trader, not a gambler. Will work throughout this week, and the reason why I'm skimming this is because we just did this. Sticking to my rules, there's no way of being mad at yourself because you did everything you could do in that moment. Why do you think these things work? Because I was able to detach my emotions. I focused on process based rewards instead of outcome that wasn't guaranteed, and following my rules allowed me to focus on what works for me. How often did you stick to your rules? 1 out of 5 days. Heartbreaking. Like I said, this is a terrible week. We failed to focus on what really matters, which caused the market to show us and humble us. What was a common emotion you felt? FOMO. Was afraid of missing a winning day and afraid of missing passing the eval. Was just afraid of falling back into the draw. Did you feel confident in your strategy? Yes. Strategy, when I followed my rules, I was confident. But when it came to performing, when I wasn't following my rules, of course, that confidence was retraced. What can you do to improve this coming week? Focus on my rules instead of the wins. How can you fix this next week? I will get a perfect week of following my rules, not caring for the wins. The recap. So edge and strategy. Did I trade mostly with my higher time frame bias, or did I often flip mid session? So gotta be honest. Starting out as well as closer to the end, I oftentimes didn't stick to my bias, but I was able to slowly improve. So obviously, a lot of times I can say I wasn't sticking to my bias. Like, of course, closer to the end, we started sticking to it more and like following my strategy and stuff. But oftentimes I wouldn't stick to my bias. I didn't like I knew my bias for the day, but I wouldn't trade based on my bias. So I knew my bias on the day, but wouldn't trade based on a married bias, which could be a good or a bad thing. I don't see this as necessarily bad. Why don't I see this as necessarily bad? Because my model allows trading against your bias, but only for smaller trades such as one to ones. Right. So this one was shocking, but were my setups repeatable or was I chasing randomness? Obviously, this month I was finding out my strategy, finding out my setup, my model, and it was just all randomness. Right. So they get quiet there, I had to think, but yeah, obviously randomness. This is my first month ever journaling my trades. At the beginning, I didn't even know where to execute, how to execute, or if I was doing the right thing. And then eventually, as well as not sticking to my bias and my rules and all of that. So it eventually became me this month falling into a systematic mindset, following my rules, and then also understanding how I should execute and what model is best for me. Which setups made the most consistent gains, and that was the PDI strategy. When when I traded based off my bias and my PDI strategy, honestly, that's when I seen the most growth, as well as following my rules and my setups. And when did I lose the most money? Not following following my rules or setup and trading out of emotions. Yeah, so pretty much it. Like that's obvious. I made money when I followed the PDI strategy as well as follow my bias, even if I took like a one to one on against my bias, but it was only at the end of the accumulation zone, so it wasn't being too greedy or none of that. And then like when I actually follow my setup towards my bias, I would get consistent wins. So yeah, and then I lost the most money. I lost the most when I was trading out of emotions and not following my rules or setup. Risk management. Did I stay consistent with my percents per trade? Yes. So yes, I am very good with risk management and only allowing myself to risk 1 obviously. I cut trades early or widen stops. So obviously, like risk management is not something I think I fail with at all. Like I don't widen my stops. I don't exit trades early or none of that. This is a fact. This doesn't seem to be a factor when I'm trading. Obviously, I've thought of it, but if I continue to react in a positive way towards it, I will continue not to. So yeah, it's not like I have never thought of this. I've never like experienced the feeling or the sensation of wanting to, but I react in a way to where it doesn't affect my trading, which is always great. So how many days did I overtrade or revenge trade? One day, and that was this most recent trading day last Friday when I told you I took two trades that day. Yeah, it was pretty much one day. One day I overtraded. One day I over leveraged because I wanted to get back my losses. The most recent trading. This is because I got so caught up in passing. So yeah, so it was one day. The most recent trading day, I over leveraged, I over traded, and this was like a bad way to end off the month. Like, even though this is the first month I've like fully traded and journaled every single trade, it was a pretty good month overall though. We improved a lot. We understand our edge a little bit better, not fully. Obviously, I could see a lot of points to where I gotta improve, and like even next month, I may not even pass my first eval. It may take till month three, but I'm understanding where my faults are and improving on them. So yeah, overall good month, just a bad ending. So, but we will continue to prevail and persevere and get better. No, we still have never received any type of profit be because we fail to form the habits necessary. All right, that's an obvious one. If not possible, did I at least reduce my losses compared to last month? And yes, yes, by this month, we understand now the cheat code of following your rules. This allows you to form your edge in the market as well as control what you can. I would like to stress this a lot. Like this month was just definitely a month of understanding like what following your rules does for you. So like for example, first week 3 out of 5 days we were losing, but we were still following our rules, understanding our strategy, and getting used to it, improving. Week two, we followed our rules 4 out of 5 days, and I was able to find out how I should execute. Like I started trusting my bias more. I started doing way better. Week three, seeing results. We would win a few. Like I think we won 3, 4 trades in a row. after week three, following your rules 5 out of 5 of the days, and like improving constantly. When you follow your rules, you know what to improve, where to improve, so you improve. And then week four, obviously we backtracked. We took like 2 steps back after taking 5 steps forward. So we're still ahead, but we understand. I follow my rules 1 out of 5 days of the week, and guess what? It was the worst week of the month. Why? Because you didn't follow your rules. So now we understand the importance of following your rules. How many trades follow my plan versus how many broke it? So let's add these together. So technically it was 20 days total, and the days that we didn't trade also counts as following rules. So 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 1 out of 5. So that's 10 plus 3, 13 out of 20 days. 13 out of 20 days of the month we followed our rules slash obviously this is a big margin of error, like a huge margin of error. If we look deeper into this, this means 6 out of 10 days, so 60% of the time we would follow our rules, which is not very good. I want to at least bring that to an 80 or a 90. This means 60% of the month slash free chat. Chat, what are we doing? Brain fart. Trading days we followed our rules slash plan. So definitely want to improve a lot on this at least next month. Aim for a 70 to 80% margin. Cause like now that we understand fully how following your rules, following your systems actually changes your perspective on trading and makes you a better trader overall. We can use this to our advantage and form our edge faster and build our strategy better. How far are we into this video? Chad, this is going to be a longer video. I don't know. 52 minutes. Holy shit, Chad. Yeah, and we're not even close to done. So, yeah, this trading recap's probably not going to get watched till like further in the future when people come back to these videos. But, like, yeah, let's get into this next part. Did I enter trades calmly or with FOMO slash doubt? You gotta be honest, chat. Like, you gotta be honest. Like, honest with yourself. Like, a lot of the times, yes, bro. Like, a lot of the days I didn't, and even some of the days I follow my rules, I still entered off of FOMO. It seems like my psychology is a big factor. As much as much as as I thought I had a stable mindset when it came to the charts, I was obviously proven wrong. So obviously we know when we enter in FOMO and doubt, this doesn't work. So we want to improve that next week. Were my pre-market plans clear enough that I trusted them at execution? Later down the month, So later down the month, yes, I do agree. My pre-market analysis helped me trust my execution better. So yes, overall, this is something I look forward to when I analyze the market, right? Like I don't take too long. I chart up for a little bit, understand, okay, this is what I think the market's gonna do. I don't overcomplicate it. So I end up feeling more confidence in my trades. And um that's what helped me overall this month. So yes, I feel like that was a really good one. How often did I feel fear, hesitation, or FOMO middle trade? And it's a lot. A lot. Almost every trade I get these emotions. Now, what differentiates, and I don't know how to spell this chat, so a bad from a good trade is my reaction. If I reacted bad, the trade became bad. Even if it was a good setup. If I reacted well and didn't feed into my emotions, the trade, no matter if it was a bad or a good setup, became a good trade because overall we knew where to improve when following my rules. There we go. Simple as that. I trust my stop loss or did I constantly watch price tick? So I did not trust my stop loss. That was a big problem this month too. And it's not necessarily that I would move my stop loss, but I would always watch. Yeah, so it's not necessarily that I would move it, exit and trade early. It was more like I just felt very nervous in like where my stop was. And that was a big problem towards the beginning of the month is I didn't know where my stop should be placed at until I started forming like why I took a trade. After trade, I focused more on the process or P and L and P and L. P disconnected because I'm not on nothing. Hold on, give me 1 second. Never mind. Yeah, I focused more on the P and L. I was focused more on the P and L. This is what caused me to not follow my rules mostly. This is what caused my psychology to be in shambles. And this is what mainly caused every problem in my trading experience since this month. Whenever whenever I had a good week on following my rules, trading became easy. How did I handle losing streaks? Bro, like shit. Like shit, bro. Losing losing streaks, especially after a winning one, caused me to spiral down. And a winning streak inflated my ego and I got humbled fast. Yes, losing streaks, especially after winning, they caused me to spiral down, and the winning streak inflated my ego and I got humbled fast, bro. Like, when I tell you, this week was just crazy. Like, won 4 days in a row, and then all of a sudden it was just like, and it shows you like how much progress you really have, how much you really like don't know what you're doing until you do it multiple times on end consistently. So yeah, obviously this was just like a shit last week, and it just showed you how it showed me how much my psychology played a factor in my trading. Um, no, like honestly, I'd be looking at charts and have to go off memory, which was not good. So we gotta tell the story. We gotta focus more on why I'm taking this trade instead of taking the trade. I fail to do this often, only focusing on the confluences. Was I brutally honest about mistakes and emotions, or did I sugarcoat? So this is where I was pretty good. I am really great at self accountability. So I would be brutally honest, so I would know where to improve. As simple as that. Did I finish entries with at least one forward-looking improvement? Um, did I finish entries with at least one forward-looking improvement? So not every trade, but every week. I would look back on the week with a trade weekly recap and base where I should improve on next week. So we're pretty good with that. I do like that. I feel like if you focus every single day, like as we do look at every single day and then put into accountability at the end of the week. But I feel like if you were to focus every single day, actually technically we would. Like if we go look at this, even on the most recent day, it was what can I take from this trade? So actually we would every single day. Trade I so what can I take from this trade? And I would summary improve myself as much as I can. There we go. Like, yeah, we would do that. So this is actually pretty good. So my journaling is B minus. So accountability is there, which is a really good factor. Honesty is there. Um, what we lack on is clarity. So clarity and why I'm taking trades. so that I would know where to improve on my strategy as well, not just my psychology. And can I easily spot repeating mistakes when it comes to psychology? But since I lack in trade clarity on the journaling side, I have a harder time improving the strategy. We can fix this by more specification and explaining the story behind why I took the trade. I.E. why I placed my stop loss and why I thought this would hit my TP. Simple as that. So there we go. So chat, I was thinking about going over every single trade that I did over these past like trading days. But honestly, I feel like going over these earlier stages wouldn't be like great. So for example, this I didn't know this was a PDI until I did it, and this isn't even a great PDI. So obviously, bad setup, bad trade. Wouldn't take this again. Bad setup, bad trade. Wouldn't. Would need better explanation. I can't say I won't take it again because technically you could see this as a mech model, but I don't necessarily trade mech models, but I do trade inversions, and the mech model is a part of inversion. But I'm understanding one model right now, so I get a payout and eventually get into a mentorship. Um, overall, didn't understand bias, bad trade. It's not too much I could say for these because these are older trades. I didn't really specify this like newer before my model, before I even knew what was going on. Like this is obviously a PDI right here, but guess what? We didn't see the PDI. So what happened? Stopped out just like that. So chat, yeah, obviously we just need obvious PDI, but at the time I didn't know that execution model. Bad trade analysis. Overall shit trade. First journal trade. Looking at this, like honestly, chat, I don't know what I'd be thinking with most of these. This was obviously a forward test. You see all this accumulation. This would have been the manipulation leg down and then an inverse, but then we inverse that leg, so this wouldn't have been a good trade. This would have been a great 1-to-1. Not even 1-to-1 though, just with the lack of volume in the market. It's from 8:30 to 9:30. I wouldn't have took this trade. Only a forward test. A forward test. No PDI shown. Overall, bad trade. I wouldn't have taken this on a live. Lack of volume, no clear direction, and no model. Just overall bad trade. Um, this was a good trade. This was just bad probability. This was a great trade overall. Bad probability. Should have said break even better. Um, PDI, PDI. Um, great volume in the market. Oh shit, chat. Great volume in the market. Time, time frame alliance. What I mean by this, tapping a high time frame FVG along with hourly candle close. Hourly slash, because it's 9, 4 hour candle close. And then what else? What else was pretty good about this trade? This was just a really good fucking trade. Great entrance. A lack of proper break even placement minus. So we could have placed our break even around these equal highs right here. Um, yeah, obviously aftermarket would have, yeah, like this was just like this drop was just so random out of nowhere. It's unbelievable. But like, yeah, we could have obviously placed like break even at like middle ground highs. Like this would have been like a great break even spot right here, or even well you could say here, but we entered around here. So a great break even spot would have been right here. Perfect break even spot. We would have claimed all the liquidity towards the upside, and then we would have just broke even because we didn't want to tap this gap no more. This accumulation zone. Um, this right here, bad trade, bro. Against bias, um, obvious SMT. We showed a SMT, so that means Nas hit data lows. So bad trade because of circumstances. No, no, no PDI present. No PDI present. Um, great break even placement. So this became a break even trade, obviously. Um, SMT at target liquidity. So like that was obviously bad. Like why would I go after a trade towards the liquidity that was already claimed on another um index? Why would I take a trade towards liquidity that was taken on a pairing index? Obviously. And then like overall, like where the fuck? Oh, we entered up here. Okay. Oh, my mouse is tweaking chat. We entered up here, so I guess like pretty good. You can count this as accumulation. Not really a PDI you'd be looking for, but this was inversion. Then we just broke even, so it is what it is. Um, obviously against bias. obviously against bias. Really bad on that one. Well, now we look at the winning ones. Um, look. Oh my gosh, chat. Follows bias. Great entry. Holy shit. Like we know why this trade would work. I would classify this as like a let's just say this is like an A minus. Like A minus. This wouldn't be an A plus, but this is A minus. A minus trade. So this was a I'm gonna say this was a B minus trade. Trash overall. Like that's why I became a broke even. This was like a B plus trade, chat. Like actually I would give this A minus. No cap, because this was like a great entry. Um fucking like a fucking D, chat. Fucking D. Like you knew obviously we went where it was supposed to go, but this was not a trade I would have took, bro. Like F, bro. Not even a clear setup. Or actually no, I'll give this a C plus because mech model, of course. Um fucking F didn't know what we were doing, bro. At all. F, we don't care about everything else. A minus trade right here, chat. So boom. Like, and I'm loving this time frame alignment, chat. Holy fuck. Open, high, low, close. Y'all not seeing it, bro. So, time frame alignment plus. We entered on a open, high, low, close bias. Simple as that. Um, obvious, obvious chat, obvious PDI. Like the PDIs are supposed to be obvious. Inversion on the nearest one 1 minute manipulation leg. Perfect entry, chat. Like that was pretty fucking good. Um, looked for unclaimed high volume liquidity. Actually, no. 1-to-1 against bias targeting obvious liquidity. Went for the accumulation, not getting greedy. Boom. Towards a this was obvious PDI, bro. Like time frame alignment, manipulation leg towards the accumulation, towards the unfilled retracement. That's a plus right there, chat. This one, holy fuck, this one was great. This one was good. This was like a good fucking probably like a I would give this one like a fucking I want to say like another I want to say like a B plus. Honestly, um, time frame alignment is there. And then obvious PDI, strong, strong, fuck, liquidity draw. Liquidity void is always a great target. Um, but like fail to enter on high time frame PD arrays. We aren't in any FEGs, no OBs, or any stronger confluences. Like a B plus. Um, this one's fucking great. I'm gonna say this is like optimal A plus or like A, not A plus. There could be trades better than this, but this is like optimal A plus. Like um PDI, frame alignment, um rejection on the 1 hour/4 hour gap below signifying high volume upwards. And I forgot to put what this means, but this is trading ATF PD arrays. There we go. What else? 1 to 1 towards accumulation following bias. Simple as that, chat. That's the. It's simple, but it's an A, just like that. Shit trade. Fucking shit trade. This is like an F trade. No PDI against bias. Not in line with time frames. Like really like no time frame PD arrays. Like literally FOMO. Simple as that. Same here. Same here, bro. Can literally copy and paste what we did at the end of the week 2 times over. Fucking same here. I don't want to take too long on these, but not in line with time frame, against bias. Well, it's not against bias. Follows bias. So this becomes C minus. C minus. Like, simple as that, bro. And this one was just like, what the fuck? Yeah, this one's kind of bad too, chat. Now, I think obviously, so this one was probably like a C plus. So we have a PDI, obvious PDI. It's just against bias, but it's in line with time frames. No higher time frame PD arrays though. Like obviously, just like a bad trade, bro. So that's all of those. I like to go in depth on the winning ones to see why I won, why I lost. Like these are obvious. Like reason why I've been going so in depth on these trades is because these were like obvious reasons why. Like no PDI, that's obvious. Not against bias, obvious. Not in line with the time frame, just like 8 fucking 30, 9:30, and then FOMO, and then no higher time frame PDI raise, just trading. So that's like obvious. Same thing with this one. No PDI model, just fucking trade against bias. Not in line with time frames. No higher time frame PDI raise, like we're just trading to trade FOMO. Same thing with here, but this was a C minus because it follows bias, of course. Well, no, actually, it didn't even follow bias. C minus. Oh no, F. F fucking trade. Doesn't follow no PDI. Doesn't follow bias. Um, see, there's a PDI. Not an obvious PDI, but just a PDI. So that's why C minus. Like, this is not obvious PDI. Like, accumulation, manipulation, leg up. We claim our liquidity, tap the gap. And then, like, I don't even think this is like a 5 minute gap or anything. Tapped something. Equilibrium, I guess. Retraced 1 minute inversion. But it was like, just shit overall chat. Low volume. Against the bias. Not in line with the time frame. And then it was like, bro, against higher time frame PD arrays. Come on now. C minus. Then this one was just trash. Like PDI, of course, we took all this bottom side liquidity, inversed the most recent FVG, but then we just retraced. Like it was not inside of any higher time frame PD arrays, not in line with the time frame. Well, actually, it's around the same time, but we already just claimed all time highs and all that. So yeah, overall, what we could take from this month is pretty good month in terms of progress. So like in terms of progress, this was a great month. Like I can't be mad at this month. This month was like something for the books. Definitely the start. But we got to improve next month. We got to improve our edge, our psychology, and just overall clarity within the journal. So yeah, as you can see, a longer video, chat, a longer video, but it was well worth it. Hopefully you was able to stick through this. I don't know when you're seeing this, but this is how I'm starting off to journal my trades, and eventually you will see me journal my trades even in more depth as we get further into our trading journey, our trading progress. So yeah, much appreciated for you guys coming to see this trade recap for the month. I know this was a longer one. Hopefully you stuck through it. Hopefully you took like some key insights from this because I definitely did. I definitely know where I need to improve next month. Yeah, overall, great month. Progress there. Everything there. We just need to continue to lock in and move forward. So yeah, it's gonna be ending this one. And I'm out. Peace. See you guys in the next trade recap whenever you see this video. So yeah.